welcome back to the channel. If you're subscribed, that is. If you haven't subscribed, why not? But thanks for watching this video anyway. Today we're back in our little bedroom and we are going to be installing a new electrical socket. Hope you enjoy this video. Right, so we're back in our small box room again today. Been deliberating where to install stuff in this room. We're going to use it as an office, but then you also, if you ever went to sell the property, you want to be able to sell this as a bedroom as well. But as there's no central heating in here, we've been trying to decide where to put the little radiator that goes in here and the electrical sockets. And I finally made a decision. Right, so here we are in a little room. It's like your standard little box room. Usually you put a bed along that wall over there. Most of the time you'd have a radiator under the window, but we've decided we're going to put the radiator over on this wall. Now with double glazing, your radiator doesn't have to be under the window anymore, so you can literally put it wherever you want. So if you was to have the bed this way, your bed is going to come out this far. It's just sort of creeping over the window a bit. But also if you put a radiator under there, you know, you'd want to put it central to the window to make it look right. But then you're going to be too close to the bed. Even if it was pushed further over, you know, it's still going to be close to your head. And then there is enough room. It's a 7-foot wide room. So if you wanted to put your bed under the window that way as well, you'd be up against the radiator. So that's why we've decided to put it over into the middle of this wall, so you can have your bed either way and the radiator should be out your way. But then you say, well, it's going to cover up that electrical socket. But what we plan on doing is probably putting one over onto that wall as well, under there. Our cabling comes up from downstairs under this floor joist. So if we lift that up, you can see we've got our socket cables coming up there. So why they haven't bothered putting any sockets in this room, I do not know. So yeah, so we'll put a socket over on that wall as well. So if you do have your bed underneath the window, you can also have a side table and a socket over there. But these are both going into brick walls. So let's go on and show you how to do it. Right, it's standard now to have your electrical sockets 450mm, 45 centimeters off of the ground. So now we're on it, we're just a couple of mil above it. So we've marked that up to the bottom of our back box. All we did, we put our back box onto the wall there, add a spirit level on top there, make sure it was dead level. Sit there, held it in place, and then just drew around it. And then got the couple of cutouts on the bottom of there we're going to mark off and dig out, chase them down the wall now. Right, what I like to do is just cut around the box and my lines just for this is just a cheapy like, it's just a cheap blade. Pick these up for like a pound. And it's got the snap off blades, so when they're blunt you can replace them, so it's great for this work. Just like to mark down now. What most people tend to do is they'll chisel the top layer of plaster off until they get down to the brick, and then they'll drill holes. But I'm going to try this a different way. I'm going to try to get my depth right for the box. Once you've taken the plaster off, it's a little bit harder when you're digging in the middle to know if you're hitting the right depths with your drill. So I'm going to get the drill bit, measure it to the depth of here, and just go make loads of holes through here so it goes into the brick behind and make it easy to chisel out. I've got a feeling this plaster is just going to fall apart as soon as I start drilling, but I'm just going to give that way a try. Right, so we're just going to take our back box. I'm going to put the tip of our drill just past it by a few mil. Just with your finger, mark a point on the drill. It's awkward trying to do this and filming it. And then just put yourself, got a bit of PVC tape, electrical tape, put that around there. And that will give you the depth of your box. So actually that tape is a little bit too close, so we know we can just put that tape in, put that tape just below the hole slightly, and we've got our perfect depth. So now we're going to stick this on hammer action and drill all our holes down to that depth. I think it's time for the SDS drill. Right, I've decided to go and get the SDS drill out. It makes a whole world of difference when you're drilling into brick. The other one was just, you know, your normal Black & Decker with electrical one with a normal hammer action, but I find this will now destroy the wall. Yeah, I think the word destroy was the wrong word to use in this case, because that's what certainly happened. It didn't seem too bad at first, it was going alright, but then the vibrations from the hammer drill started to make all the mortar come loose on the brick. There's not much weight above the brick because it's under a windowsill, so there's not much actually, there's no compression on that brick. So hammering it out just made all the mortar loose, the brick fell backwards. So now I've had to remove some more of the plaster, and then what I've had to do is mix some mortar mix up, fill it all in, fill around the cracks, just, you know, replace all the mortar that was there, fill the holes, fill the top of the brick, bottom of the brick, around the side of the brick, and then just leave it till it sets, because I had one screw point. I had to wait for the mortar to set before I could put the second screw in the box. Right, I stopped filming here because it was an absolute nightmare. Trouble with these old houses, the mortar's not that good anymore. These bricks are absolutely rock solid. And trouble is, the more percussion, well, you know, the more hitting them, if you was to use your SDS hammer drill in here, it was basically loosening all the mortar and becoming a right pain. But I've ended up, you know, even with the hammering as well, it's made the plaster loose. We've got some more plaster come off, so we've got a lot of repairs to do. In the end, I stopped filming because I got the angle grinder out, just grinded a nice straight line down the sides, channeled that out for me, wires to go down. But I had to, you know, mix some mortar up, fill it all in back there, refill all the mortar joints in the brick, because what happened, the mortar came out the side of there, this brick shifted backwards, but now that's in there a bit more stable. But yeah, so what we're going to do, we're now going to do our next one. So if we had our bed along this wall, we're going to put a socket up past here. I've put like a 6 foot mark on the wall. Beds are about 6'3" usually, so we're going to come over a bit further. So if you had your bed the other way, you could still use that socket over there for a bedside table down there. And also, if you had the unit we're going to build up on the side here, you know, it's going to have shelvings in there, and the shelvings are going to be movable, so you could have an open space where you can put your TV on. So you can have a TV or a light or anything on the shelving, and we can use this plug socket down here, as well as any lights they want on their bedside table. So that's the idea. So now I'm going to hide the camera out of the way of the dust. And now with this wall, we're going to use the angle grinder with our masonry cutting disc in it. It's going to be very dusty, so I don't really want the camera in here, but I shall get it in there to show you. And let's get on with it. Here we go again, another way. Right, we've already marked up our 450mm from the floorboards. We've used a spirit level, drawn our line across. Here we've got our 6 foot mark. The end of a normal standard size single bed would be 6'3", so roughly about this position. So we want to go about a little bit further, just in case the bed's a bit bigger. Alright, so we've got our angle grinder with our masonry blade in there, diamond edges. You've got a pair of gloves, very important dust mask because this is going to be a mess, and safety goggles because you get sparks and all sorts flying out of here. Get our gloves on, get our mask on. You definitely need a mask for this job. Then we're going to stick our goggles on. Probably can't hear me properly now. Let's get the hoover on and get grinding. That's pretty much going to be the right depth, maybe a little bit of chiseling out afterwards. Let me just quickly show you the dust in here so I can get the camera out and the microphone out. It's a right mess. I don't know if you can see how thick the dust is in here. So that's why you need your windows wide open. Right, I'm just going to get my camera and stuff out and let the dust settle. Right, now the dust has settled quite considerably. Let's see what we got. I think I might need to, I think it's slipped up on that bit a bit, might need to do that some more. Let's get out what we've got. And if you get any comments saying my chisel's not sharp enough when I was cutting the other one to get through these bricks, it has been sharpened and it has got a good angle on there and it is still pretty sharp. So it's not me, it's not the chisel that's no good. I think it's me. Not fun. These bricks are solid. If you weren't putting any like PVC or steel channeling in here, you could probably just get away with knocking the plaster off. So that would be, you wouldn't need a angle grinder for that. Just go down the side, scrape it out. But because we're going to use PVC channeling on here, I'm going to need to take this back a little bit further. We're going to try using our SDS drill with a chisel in it, although I'm probably going to regret that. So you want to make sure, put that onto hammer only, and also make sure that lever in there is on hammer. As soon as I see any of these bricks moving around it, I'm going to stop. So I don't want it to be like the last one and destroy the whole hole. Well, the bricks are still solid at the back anyway. That's good news. So we're very nearly there now. So I might just go with the old bolster chisel again. There we go, and that's it. That's now perfect. Right, you can see that now, it's nice and flush and level. So we've got a couple of good fixing points at the back. So take that out. So yeah, so we've got a good fixing point in there and another good fixing point in the other brick next to it. Now we're just going to do the same chasing down there. So we can fit our wires in and our channeling, our PVC channeling. Alright, let's do it the easy way. Right, so that's it, we've chased out enough now. Alright, so we've got our rubber grommets to insert. They've simply got a little gap between them. It's a simple case of squeezing them in and making the metal sit between the gaps in them. So just squash it together, get one bit in and then go round, squashing it in a bit. There you go, that's your two rubber grommets ready for that. So we'll just get our pencil, we're going to mark up our horizontal there and a vertical there, because luckily we're right in the middle of the brick. So yeah, we're a little bit lower, but hopefully that should be alright. On that, yeah, because we're using a vertical hole and a horizontal hole, gives you a little bit of movement to wiggle it around in. So we have got a bit more brick that's falling out of here, but hopefully that can go through there enough to hold, which looks like it should do. Let's hope these hold. Nudge our box up as level as we can. Sit there and tighten her up. There you go, your box is now in, ready to channel your wiring down. Now it's a lot neater than the other one we tried. But I'm glad that one worked out better. No one likes installing back boxes and chasing wires in the wall. So, but just take your time. You know, as soon as you've got your lines cut, just take your time and the chiseling out. That's one thing you can't do. As soon as you rush this and try doing this the quick way, that is when everything falls out. Like that one over there. This way is a lot dustier with the angle grinder, so if you was in a decorated room you'll definitely struggle. I think you just have to take your time by doing it by hand. But these bricks are absolutely solid. I think they're, I know the outside bricks are Aquatum red, but these are just unbelievably solid. I've never known bricks like them. I mean, they feel very light, but these are northern bricks. They're as hard as nails. And that's coming from a southerner up north. But we got it in. So the next video we're going to show you wiring this up. We're going to lift the floorboards up, get our socket cable out, or upstairs power cable out. We're going to link that into here, and then we're going to take the wire from here over to our other box, and then a wire out of our other box and link it back up to the original wire or cable that goes to the next room and the rest of the upstairs. So there you go. I'm a mess, the wall's a mess. Well, that one's not, the other one is. But I hope that helped you in some way. I wouldn't say it was a mistake. You follow the way people tell you to do it by drilling holes in the wall and chiseling it out. My chisels are sharp. My bolts are chisel. That's sharp. That was, I've sharpened that not long ago. It was only a week or two and it's hardly been used. And I can still see it still has a good point on there. So there's definitely not anything wrong with a bolster chisel. It's just the bricks are so hard. In an old house like this, the mortar's not been touched in. Well, this was built in 1926, and it's now 2018. So you do the maths. I could do it for you. That's 92 years. Yeah, so that mortar hasn't been touched for 92 years. Now, someone's going to tell me I've done that wrong. I probably have. So, the hard pounding you have to do with your bolster chisel and your mallet, where I've put that. Yeah, and your mallet. Mallet, what do you call that? And your club hammer. And your club hammer. Don't call it a mallet. You're not Timmy Mallet. Yeah, you have to hit so hard. You have to hit so hard with your club hammer and your bolster chisel that the bricks, the mortar fails basically. So the mortar fails, the bricks give way. Under a window there's not much weight on top of them, so that's obviously a bit worse. But once that mortar fails, that's it. You can't do anything except maybe taking the brick out, or what I had to do there was just re-mortar it. I could manage to pull it back into place, mixed up some mortar, re-mortared that into position, and then I had to wait for the mortar to set so I can put the other screw in there to fit the box to the wall. And there's still a little bit of movement in that brick, but not as much. But at least it's got the mortar around it now. So, but if you've got any other ideas or suggestions on how to fit these back boxes or chase-low walls, most of them all seem to be the same. You drill your holes in. I've seen one that made a mess of it. He just used a 9-inch angle grinder and just cut all the way across there and there, and what a mess. But trying to keep this a little bit neater. I know I have to do some plastering and repairs in this room anyway, but you don't want to keep plastering just for the sake of it. And I know you do have you've got those channeling machines, but also that makes a load of dust. I don't think there's a clean way of doing this, is there? Is there? If there is, let me know. And maybe when I go and do my next boxes, although next boxes are going into the lap and plaster wall, into the other bedroom. But let me know. Point me to a video where there's a simpler way of doing this. But from what I can see, every electrician just hates doing this kind of work. Anyway, enough rambling on. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've taught you something. So definitely showed you some mistakes. Yes, hopefully I've shown you how not to do it and another way of doing it. But thanks for watching this video. The next one will probably be wiring up these two. So stay tuned. See you for the next one hopefully. Bye bye.